is Canada-Constitution, Postal Bankruptcy Seizen Treaty Performance, till the RW-598-721-122-CA. The Canada Constitution was filed by the claimants and the postmasters and the life birth claimants on the Constitution on April 12th, 2017. On April 15th, 2017, the Canada Post and the Canadian government came out of a 70-year international moratorium bankruptcy. Within the 72 hours of April 15th, the Bank of Canada filed all its bonds back to the executor of the bankruptcy, Prince Philip of Edinburgh. And Prince Philip received the bonds, and Buckingham Palace announced his retirement within 72 hours because he was no longer needed, because the royal proclamation from the Native Americans or the Native Indians, the indigenous people in Canada, the royal proclamation went null and void because the bankruptcy timelines had ended. However, they made an attempt to kick off a new world order against the Canadian citizens, and a large number of Canadian citizens saw the plan coming. These are the citizens that are honorably that have the courage of their convictions, that are on the recording today, that have stepped forward to stop and correct with certified knowledge that they wanted a claim of the life and a world for themselves up there in Canada. And upon that, they set contract terms. They have elected me as the Postmaster-General because of my skill set as Postmaster General. They became cognizant of, and they hired my services. I am here for administrative mechanics to make sure that the mechanics are correct. Before we start into the mechanics of the meeting will be published at lastflagstanding.com. It will be published at your guys' places, whatever. If you guys have to say anything, you're more than welcome to speak up and say what website you'd like them filed on for Canada, for the Canada.
We can load ours up onto the Syntax Learning Center.com.
And we can put it up. We already have it up, posted on fortheolmsted.com.
Excellent. Upon that, I'm going to move into the mechanics before we get into the functions of the Constitution. The mechanics under proof of the service were filed with the Canada Post Corporation on the 18th of April, 2017 in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Proof of service will also be posted upon this as well. The Canadian Constitution was also filed at, hold on, I'm going through paperwork here, guys, so just bear with me. Global Affairs Canada in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and it was filed on the 19th of April, 2017 through postal registration number RN 598-721122CA. The Canada Post Corporation mail slip number, registration number was RN 598-721-122CA. The Canada Constitution was also filed with Canada Border Services Agency in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. The mail registration number is RN 598-721122CA. That is where the proof of the service is on file. It was also filed at the Universal Postal Union in Bern, Switzerland, under postal registration number RN 598-721-122CA. And the proof of the service will be on file at the websites that we spoke of earlier. The Canada Constitution, because of this was an international moratorium of bankruptcy, which the International Monetary Fund polices and controls on a worldwide level. that because I disqualified the International Monetary Fund's charter as fraudulent grammar and sat down with the attorneys at the International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C. in January of 2003, putting a new constitutional quantum in the quantum banking system, the Global Monetary Fund. The Canada Constitution was given notice to the International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C. through mail registration number RN 598-721-122CA. The Canada Constitution was also filed with the United States Department of State and they received that document on the 25th of April, 2017. The mail slip number, registration number is RN 598-721-122CA, and that's in Washington, D.C. They are cognizant of the Canada Constitution. The Canada Constitution was also filed because of the bankruptcy end, was filed on April 24th, 2017 with the Bank of England, because they were the shareholders of the Royal Proclamation that held Canada in bankruptcy. And that was filed through mail registration number RN 598-721122CA. And that was in London, England. Was where that is on file. At this time, in compliance with the Canada Constitution, Letter of the Comprehension-Treaty and Postal-Bankruptcy Season Treaty Performance RW 598-721-122-CA, in compliance with paragraph 22 of the Canada Constitution, where there are more than 5 active members with claims of the life who are postmasters and claimants and trustees of the Canada Constitution. I'm now turning this meeting over to their concerns for their minutes here. We're having minutes for this corporation to their Secretary of the Canada Constitution, Muriel-Meta-Biggs.
So at this time, I call this as a second meeting of the Contract Canada Constitution Treaty Citizens Trustee Council. And we're the claim of this second meeting, serial number 02 on this day, 1 October 2021. With this for this second meeting of the Contract Canada Citizens Trustee Council is with the call of the meeting commencement with the authority of the Secretary, Muriel-Meta-Biggs.
Are the trustees at this time, or do the trustees have concerns about their lifestyle and what's going on in the Canada now? And if so, what solutions have they presented in their constitution? And for me, I have one question because as a administrative mechanics, as postmaster in general, in paragraph 19 of your Canada Constitution, it talks about, did you guys authorize a prime minister or a public election for a public official in Canada within the last year?
No, we did not.
We do not.
No.
Okay. So in compliance with paragraph 19, a termination of deployment will be posted with the postal systems of the world by me as Postmaster General to give closure to you guys that anyone that is acting as a public fiduciary within your territory of the Canada will be published and warrants will be placed, KPS warrants will be placed for their custody as a foreign actor trespassing upon your sovereign lands.
Perfect.
Right on. Awesome. Right.
I concur.
That's the best news I've heard today.
Or I concur.
Well, you guys have concerns here. I'm looking in your paragraph 19 here. I'd like to start in paragraph 19 and start in paragraph, 22 and just talk about a little bit about what are you guys going through up there? What are your guys' needs? And let's see if we can't get something posted to comply with the Constitution, because all these different entities and theaters around the world have knowledge under Title 42, 1986, knowledge of the service of the methods and methods of the service, that you complied under international bankruptcy timeline as sovereign postmaster claimants in your postal territory of the Canada, and you complied with the guidelines for setting up corporate constitutions by alerting the locations that you did around the world. Because those locations that you alerted, I had already in 2003 become the owner operator of the grammar at those locations. The mechanics of what you have done here it's correct. As Postmaster General, the guy who runs the Global Monetary Fund and the Global Postal Union out of Switzerland and all the banks on planet Earth, I'm looking at a function here that is correct. So what are your guys' main concerns as claimant postmasters here, and what do you guys want to see done?
Well, I want to see these people stopped with these fake narratives, and I think that actually paragraph 35 deals with that in the public safety, because we've claimed that public safety is the number one concern, and these people are public safety hazards with their fake narratives, and they've got to be stopped. On that note, according to your directions, Russell, the chief medical officer. Fake chief medical officer there in Alberta, Dina Lynn Hinshaw, or
hold on.
Dina.
Can you, when we get done with this meeting, I need you to email me the actors' names, a picture of who they are, and their mail location as well. I just want to put that in there. And I am talking to Postmaster Claimant Sovereign Michael-Gordon Schiller. Is that correct?
Yeah, Gordon Michael Schiller. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. And I did.
Okay, that's okay.
Dina Lynn Hinshaw, Chief Medical Officer, and the Jason Thomas Kenny with the fake premier. They are both served with the Canada Constitution now, and with a copy of the amicus, your amicus off your last website.
Do you have a copy of the proof of service on that?
I don't. They were just mailed the day before yesterday, so I don't have that stuff yet. I'm just working on creating that. So.
Okay. Well, if you can get that over to me by Monday, and on Monday I'm going to put, because under the 3-day trust moratorium, the meeting today is on the October 1st, 20, and so on October 3rd I have to, under 3-day rescission, I have to go public with our meeting. So if you can get that closure to me, then I can put it in this portfolio. It's a much bigger portfolio. I'd like to give closure a little bit to the citizens, postmasters and claimants of the Canada Constitution. In 2003, I sat down with Robert Gray, the head of the United Nations, after I had served 82 nations at the United Nations, the quantum banking system, dealing with the Global Monetary Fund and the World Central Bank and the Global Postal Union. The guidelines for parameters of corporate structures for administrative mechanics for consular posts were also syntexed by me, which were called the Vienna Convention. And the Vienna Convention was written in 100% fraud. And I syntexed the Vienna Convention. It took me 3 years. And I rewrote the Vienna Convention for consular posts and missions on a global level. After meeting with 82 ambassadors, the head of the United States Postal Administration, Robert Gray, met me for 45 minutes. At the meeting was Eric-Paul Colin-Bondu, a Frenchman that was living at the time in Kelowna, British Columbia. He also accompanied me over to my meetings at the Universal Postal Union, as well as as a translator, because we wrote the contracts in English and French to get in when I mailed myself into the Postal Union, as well as the Vatican. It was wrote in English, French, and Italiano. Because we lost no deviation in our sentence structure, we were able to get in the door because it's complete control of the syntax on paperwork. But Robert Gray told me that the United Nations, as a organism and as a corporate structure, does not have authorization to exist as a corporation, because he said that they don't have the ability to read and write correct. They use fraudulent grammar. They modify their nouns. They were very cognizant of the grammar fraud that they were involved with. So this is one of the reasons why I didn't feel it necessary to file your constitution at the United Nations, is because the United Nations as an organism doesn't have the authorization or the capacity to take your mail, right? It doesn't have the capacity to receive your mail. However, as a condition of state for the usury of the Canada bankruptcies, the Canada bankruptcies were on post and on file with all the locations that you mailed this paperwork to, the Canada Constitution. So we have not alerted the United Nations, but I'm going to be addressing that in the audio that I put on as an umbrella over this. I'm going to be addressing the guidelines of what the United Nations agreed to, and then bringing in your Constitution as a boilerplate for the world to look at to address some of these concerns here of public safety, like you were talking about. And I'd like you guys to talk a little bit about paragraph 19. And, if you guys didn't elect this gentleman here, people that are acting as public fiduciaries in Canada, then a termination employment is mandatory. And I will put that into play for you guys upon getting their names and publishing that around the world. You also have in here some things that are very interesting to me under public safety and medical security and contagion, illness, containment. Can you guys talk to me about a little bit about what you were thinking upon those applications?
Well, we didn't foresee this pile of garbage here, just this lie, of course. But
Yeah.
Well, I think that the most simple is we need the evidence and we need an incorrect sentence structure.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
like we said in paragraph 47, we didn't say in here that we banned these things from being on this territory. What we said was if they want to bring them here, that they have to have correct sentence structure certification of a vacant harm certification to the contact with our bodies.
Yes.
So and they don't have that. They haven't done any of that.
Okay.
Well,
So, and tell me about.
Well, and I also want
go
to
ahead.
bring forward some. I was just going to say, there were three of us, Bradley - Gordon : Johnson, and Angus John - Angus : Lowndes. I filed a document titled Concerns Letter : Freedom Claim Command, and it also carried with it the Constitution, and that was. Let me see. I don't have that in front of me. The number that we had on it. Oh,
When was it mailed and who was it mailed to?
it was mailed on June 2, 2021, and it was
Nice.
mailed to Prime Minister, Acting Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. It was mailed to. Who do we have here? Trudeau. We sent it to the commander of the Canadian Army, Lieutenant General Wayne Donald Irie, to the Postmaster General of Canada. We sent it to Deepak Chopra to find out that he is no longer in office. We sent it to the Health Canada Minister of Health, Patricia A. Hadju, and she also goes by Patty Hajdu, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Canada, David Ian Scott, with their stop: fraud, fiction, grammar, lockdown, mandates, and tries.
So you guys in paragraph 27, I see that you guys have the right of the travel here. Is that being
Okay.
harnessed or stop blocked by
Yes,
these
it
fake
is.
actors that are in place? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Question for you. What should we be using for ship's papers?
I just want to add in the.
Sorry.
Yeah, hold on, Brad. We'll get right to you, buddy.
Okay. Yep. No problem.
Go ahead, Mira.
I just wanted to make sure that number, that the contract claim vessel number of this concern N
Breaking up real bad.
5526CA.
Yeah, you're breaking up real bad, Muriel.
I'll try again. That number is RN 552-611-085-CA.
And I don't know if
why
this
the
is
signal is so bad.
Bradley hyphen Gordon Colin Johnson. How are you today? Where'd Brad go?
Oops,
Oh.
Brad
Looks
got
like he
dropped.
dropped off.
To bump something on my computer.
There he's back.
Yeah. I was panic mode.
Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I was just wondering should we be having for like ship's papers? Because I know there's a few of us that don't have driver's license.
Oh, for sure. Well, what I would do is here is on Monday, I will post a video with paperwork on it, and that paperwork will have warrants for the termination of these employment actors that have trespassed upon the Canada Constitution, which was filed correct when they came out of bankruptcy. I don't know who's going to, and we're going to have to attach that to whatever credentialing you're using. I don't know if you're using an old CPAS. I don't know, but I would attach the warrants for them. We're probably going to have to send this to the Royal Canadian Police as well, Mounted Police as well, to their headquarters, because who's doing the enforcement up there on the harassing you guys?
Well, in the cities are primarily the RCMP, but the cities are primarily it's the city police that are going after you for going into these businesses, for trying to buy food or going shopping at some of these places. They're coming and charging you with what they call Trespass to Premises Act, which I have syntax and served on them already. They have knowledge of that, so but they still keep doing it. They're doing it all the time.
Okay, well, we need to have maybe send that package of that, Gordon, syntaxed as well. We'll attach this to this larger packet. But to answer your question, Brad, we're going to have to have our continuances of the evidences here, and we're going to have to make this more of a known thing about the Canada Constitution to the world. And then we're going to have to make sure that we can get. I know that you guys have a lot more members from the Canada. I don't know how many. Maybe you guys can do another. We can do another shareholders meeting where we add more claimants from the Canada Constitution to get more people on here to join. So I don't know what it looks like. You guys know the numbers up there. I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Lots of people have joined since the Constitution has been.
There's a lot of people that
filed,
have come in to join or.
but we don't have real records of that. You know.
Okay, so maybe at the next meeting, we should have a roll call, and then on the roll call, we can identify who you guys are going to allow onto this, because you guys have that right in paragraph. Hold on a second, guys. I was reading it earlier, and I do apologize.
And I don't see where we address the media specifically in here.
Well, it
No,
is
I
a
don't
matter of
find it
public
either.
safety. It is a matter of public safety.
Yep, definitely.
Oh
I'm
my
looking
goodness,
for
I'm
here.
still missing a number in there.
Oh, here we go. Paragraph 35. First claim of public safety.
Right.
As the contract, Postal Canadian Communities and Canada Constitute, correct communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, contract Canada citizens by the Canada Constitution. So next time that we have a meeting, and we need to do it probably in no later than 10 days from now, we need to start running a continuance of the evidence on this. So in 10 days from now, we'll have another meeting, and let's get the word out. And we want to do a roll call on this. And once you guys see the video on Monday, Tuesday, no later than Tuesday, we'll be able to get it up. And then you can have more of a ground on what this means on an overall structure. This is just something that I'm putting inside a containment that I'm publishing for the world.
Well, see, I've had
We do have a
concerns.
mailing list that we can send. Sorry, Gordon.
Well, no, I was just going to say that, people joining, they've got people joining all the time, but there's no log of that. And I was thinking for a while that they should be sending some kind of a notice in someplace, but I didn't want to bombard Muriel with mail.
Well,
So-
why don't Muriel and you guys work on
I can handle it.
work on some kind of roll call or something, and that way we're
I
in
can do a
compliance
lot.
with number 35, and that way we know who's coming on who, so we can get then we can address, Brad, back to addressing your ship's papers. Then we can address the ship's papers because we can know what kind of vessel contracts we need to put together. And we're going to have to network a little bit better with everybody, because if we don't network here, we're going to be hung out to dry, because these people are getting dumber and dumber out here. They actually thinking that they want to fight. It's like, oh, okay, well, contract controls all that. So, yeah, here's who I am. And so let's find out who the rest of you guys are or aren't. And I'm willing to go anywhere in the world. And like I said, to take my flag anywhere in the world, because I've been everywhere. Right? It's not like I'm an unknown person. I'm a very kind person. I would give to the world if they'd let me give more. But I also have a side on me that I have to stand. And so I need to be able to stand up for enforce things for you guys as well. But in order to do that, you kind of see at the beginning here today that we were looking at structure first, because the structure controls the subject matter. The structure being correct, filing your constitution prior to them coming out of a bankruptcy on April 12th, giving 3-day notice to the world that you're going to have your own constitution when the constitution ends. Well, you guys are the smartest group I know, because you did that.